Hi there. We're Sandveiss, out of Quebec City, Canada. We've been playing as a band for about 12 years.
Yeah, since 20, the band started out in 2012, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
joined in 2013 during the recording of the first album. There was an EP before that Luke did with the previous members of the band because the band changed at one point in 2016.
Oh yeah, we had a few lineup changes along the years, but
One lineup change. Yep.
yeah.
So yeah, we now have released our third album. That's just came out on October 11th, and you can find it easily on all streaming platforms. We have also a video that was also released a couple of weeks back, so you can go on our YouTube page and go see it.
And if we talk about music style, we are a heavy rock kind of band, but we are really influenced by many different kind of heavy music, from stoner rock to metal to classic metal to prog rock to even to punk rock. So we have like a very wide uh, influences.
Yeah, folk music, even like old, I don't know, Neil Young, stuff like that,
A lot of stuff.
acoustic music, Jethro Tull,
Yeah.
Hendrix, Deep Purple, Pink Floyd,
But even if our music don't sound
Sabbath.
like that, I mean, we have obvious influences, but we are not so obvious other influences. So yeah, that's who we are. Actually, we at the time when we were looking for a band name, uh, in our jam space, we had a poster of the movie Evil Dead, the original one. And one of the former members just noticed the name Ellen Sandweiss, which is an actress who played in the movie. So we just noticed the name and thought it sounded kind of cool. It's a German name actually, and we just decided to modify it like a bit, and it became Sandweiss. So that's the reason why our first album is called Scream Queen. It's like some kind of a tribute to Ellen Sandweiss. And yeah, the fact that we modified her name to to make our band name with that. So that's where it comes from.
So yeah, it's the album "Standing in the Fire," I presume, is what we're talking about here. But yeah, we recorded the album during the pandemic. It took us a good three, almost 3 years of 3.5 years of production. We recorded the drums and the bass in 2020,
2021.
2021.
Yeah, it was during my the year that I've been back to school. So we started to
Okay.
record the album. Yeah, it's been it's been so long that
Yeah,
we forget. But yeah, we started to record the album in 2021.
yeah, and essentially we went through the process of recording. We did the drums and the bass first, and then we worked on our own to do the rest for the vocals and the guitars and keyboards and stuff like that. So it was a long process. Um, Now, 2024 and the album, yeah, it took a while, but we're really happy with
Hmm.
how it came out.
Yeah, and it took a while to record it because it wasn't, the writing itself wasn't completed when we started uh, to record the album. I remember that the lyrics weren't all written,
No,
the vocal melodies weren't written yet. A few of them, yes, but I remember that it wasn't completed, and yeah, we since we like on my side, it was like it was a very busy year because I was, as I said, I was back to school for the first time in many, many, many years. So so it was like a very, very yeah, busy year. So working on the album while being at school. So yeah, it took a while, but and as Sean said, we are pretty happy with the results. We decided to ask Carl Daniel Lydon, which is a producer mixer, to we wanted him to mix the album since we heard his work on many albums that we love. You know, he worked with Dozer for many years. He still worked with them. He worked with Greenleaf, Catatonia, the Ocean Collective. So he's like a very one of the best mixers around, you know, these days for that kind of, you know, heavy stoner style of music or you know, progressive and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
So
remember when we heard the first time Trails and Passes,
yeah,
the
by
just the
Greenleaf.
first song when you know with the drums and everything, and we were all of us we were like, oh my God, what you know, what's this sound? And the album sounds massive, and so yeah, that's remember that pretty clearly.
Yeah, it's the same for me. We we like all the way that he makes the drum sound. He's a drummer himself, so probably that it has to do with
That
that. But
helps. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, the
But
sound
we
the
like
sound
that. We like the drums to be like a, you know, thunderous.
loud and roomy and
Yeah,
big sounding drums. So yeah, we decided to ask him, and he gladly accepted to work with us, and we were stoked. So so yeah, overall, "Standing in the Fire" is the name of the new album. We have a and there is a song we released it as a single a few weeks ago. So "Standing in the Fire" is a song, but also the title of the album. The lyrics were mostly written during the pandemic, and for that album, I wrote the whole things. Uh, since English is not my first language, I worked a lot with Sean, like to be sure that you know the lyrics were okay. But yeah, I wrote them mostly during the pandemic, and I'm the kind of person that, you know, that write a lot about what makes me reacting. It's not that much, you know, there's maybe like two songs that are more like personal, but most of the songs are more about social, human, and uh, social and human issues, and also politics, because there's a huge link between all that, and you know, environment. And so these are the kind of subjects that I tend to write about, probably because I listened to a lot of punk rock when I was a kid. I still do. I'm a big fan, and I
yeah,
always
that's
been
one of the first things in punk rock. It's you know, politics,
yeah,
religion.
yeah, exactly. And so the band Bad Religion is one of my most important musical influence for sure. Even, you know, about, you know, on the lyric side and everything. So
Hmm.
so probably that, yeah, it influenced a lot my writing, and you know, and also like all the social medias, like how it almost rule our lives now. It's very like it's so toxic. I mean, it's a mess. It's a big mess for sure. So that influenced a lot my writing for sure. All the things that happen in the world that are not very very cool.
Yeah,
So
during the pandemic, we had more time to think
yeah,
about those things and reflect on those things and see those things
and
happening.
oh yeah, it was ugly for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, as an observer. yeah, it fed me a lot, yeah, like ideas and stuff like that to write some stuff. So that's what the songs are were mainly wrote about. No.
So yeah, we used somebody that we really fell in love with her art. We had known about her a couple of years even before we did this album. I saw her work floating on Facebook, and she sells. When I say she, I'm talking about Amanda Morley. She did all of our artwork for this album, and it's essentially she does collage work, and we're really me and Luke we really like the old type of covers like from the 70s, so from Hypnosis and stuff like that. So um, yeah, I
You kind of
mean
cover the kind of art that, like a lot of albums by Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin or
correct.
like pretty common at the
Supertramp,
time. UFO,
Crisis with
UFO.
Crisis, UFO. So yeah. So essentially, she we went back and forth, and we it evolved into what it what it was looks like now essentially. So we're really stoked working with Amanda for the artwork of the two singles as well that were done.
Even the
So
first the first video that we released,
yes,
it was like the video itself uh was filmed like seeing her work on the collage and just like making it comes to life. Like
yeah,
you can see in the video like all the different steps and everything that
yeah,
she do like while making these arts. So the cool thing is that the video itself was her working on the artwork of the single.
yeah,
So at the end of the video, you can see like the full work. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty
yeah,
cool to see her work. Yeah.
yeah. Folivora. We've been with Folivora since the beginning of Folivora. So that was 10 or 11 years ago. We were the first band actually signed to that label, so we're still there. I mean, and Pat, who essentially started the label, we're still working with him is evidently as well. He's still
Yeah.
there. He's also our manager. So
He became our manager. At first, we signed with
yeah,
him for the
yes,
record, but
yes,
for the first album, but he became our manager like shortly after that.
yes,
And we still work with the same team. I mean, at first it was like a one-man operation. The label started out like him
yeah.
at his kitchen table, and but it became like bigger than that. Like along the years, the label
Yeah, it
grew up.
grew, and there's a lot of bands now on the label. I believe
Yeah,
there's like 10 bands maybe
yeah,
or
around that for
something
sure.
like that.
Yeah,
So
but it's all like different things. I mean, we signed with them at a different time than it is today. So all the artists that they have on the label are pretty much different than what we do. They have a lot of folk stuff, psychedelic, garage kind of music and stuff. A lot of great stuff. Uh, but it's not like a niche label, I would say. So yeah, but as Sean said, we signed with them like 10 years ago, and it became like a yeah like a good team. So we're still there.
I play hockey. Uh, I'm a big hockey fan, so when I have the chance, also I watch some games, but I don't have a lot of time. So, but I, for I love. I'm a goalie, so I love. I love playing. Still, once a week at least, sometimes two, but it's more once because you know time is hard to get sometimes. So, and I like gaming a little bit too. Don't play that much, but still a couple of sometimes I play some computer games, some Switch games, stuff like that. So I read a little bit. Yeah, pretty much listen to music
Of
every
course.
night, every night when I go to bed.
Yeah, on my side, I would say that it's pretty much like music all the time. I don't have that much other activities or actually I have kids, so I have a family just like Sean, of course. And so outside of music, I don't have that much time outside of music and family and what I do for a living is I play music with another band, totally different kind of band. I play bagpipes and tin whistle in a Celtic
And
rock
guitar.
band music and guitar. Yeah, I play occasional guitar. So it's like something totally different. But I tour a lot with that band, so I travel sometimes for weeks or a month. So yeah, that's the reason why when I'm home, I work on my stuff, try to having some good times with my family, but just writing music, it's so for me at least, it's very time consuming, and like it takes me like a lot of times, and also I work on writing music for other purpose, so like scoring and stuff like that. So it's always I'm always into music. I appreciate a lot like watching movies for sure, and playing a bit of video games, but not that much because I don't have that much time. But it's yeah, it's almost like all music all day long.
For me, I mean, if I can go first, Luke.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Um, my dad told me this when I was a little older, but he would put on uh, a Deep Purple album for me to go to sleep when I was a baby. So essentially, I've always been in touch with music all my life. First time I heard Van Halen one. I just saying that my hair stood on my on my arms. But Van Halen's not metal, but still, it's the evolution of I think
Yeah.
Deep Purple, Van Halen, and then when I first metal song that actually heard, I think was uh, from the Injustice for All, the one video.
Hmm.
And then that like when that was playing over here in Quebec, you can remember Luke. I mean, you that would play like two times an hour at least. It was a big revelation for me in Justice for All, and then after that, Chaos AD. When I was a little bit older, 10 or 12, I remember putting that in the ghetto blaster and playing that in the schoolyard, and just like mind-blowing stuff. Still today, I listen to it a lot. It's for it's more maybe more. It's not the album that everybody that loves Sepultura will be talk to you about, but for me, it's just instantly. I'm back in the schoolyard when I hear that. So yeah, for me that was it. For when the Sepultura moment was. When I discovered that okay, I really like metal a lot. So yeah,
Yeah, on my side, like my first memory of like heavier music, even though it wasn't like metal, of course, but some of my oldest memories include the band Kiss. When I was a kid, when I was very, very little, they were still in makeup, and every kids still had the posters on their walls. And so it fascinated me, but at the same time, I was like scared of them, scared as hell. I remember like
Yeah, Gene
nightmares.
Simmons.
Yeah, I remember having nightmares of, Gene Simmons spitting blood and stuff like that. So, but the thing is that when I heard the music for the first time, I was like blown away by, by this. And one of the heaviest, the first like heaviest song that I remember was actually God of Thunder. And God of Thunder is like a very, very heavy riff. I mean, the vibe of the song, with the kids laughing and with the, all the kind of gloomy and the seedy noises,
Yeah,
like white noises and everything in the song. Like that song like did a whole a lot of, it gave me like a lot of interest for like heavier and darker music and stuff like that.
yeah.
But I was like a really, really little kid. So it started with Kiss, but when I grew up, when I grew older, I had like a cousin that lived like the next door to my house, and he was older than me, and he was really into metal at the time. Like I remember like when he first shown me Master of Puppets by Metallica, of course, and Show No Mercy, Slayer, and all these kind of bands, Possessed, Voivod. I mean, the first Voivod album I bought it from him because he at first he didn't got it at all. So I was like, man, what is that? It's like
Didn't get the music, you
he
mean? He
didn't
does.
didn't get yeah he
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
get the
yeah.
music. He
It was
was
too
like
out there, huh?
yeah, exactly. What's that? It was the
Kind of
Nothing
like
Face
King
album.
Crimson, it's the
Yeah,
type of music that the first time you hear it, or Gentle Giant, or whatever,
yeah. I
it
remember
can
that.
be heavy for some people, for sure.
Yeah, but the thing is that he was used to, Sepultura, like the old stuff, and
Yeah,
but I remember Possessed and Slayer, but Voivod is like a totally different animal. I mean, especially the album Nothing Face. It
yeah.
was like robot rock. It's very out there. So, and for what he bought it because of the cover of Pink Floyd, Astronomy Domine, that was
Mm,
on the album,
yeah.
but the rest of the record is really, of course, different. And anyway, I remember that I bought it from him. But he was like a metal school for me, like that cousin. He started to play guitar at first, and I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. I wanted to play guitar for so many years. The first time I remember hearing like electric guitar with distortion, and it was at his place, it was at his home. So he had a lot of influence on me for sure. And so yeah, from there, the first metal album that I bought, actually, which is the first album I bought with my own money, was Kill 'Em All by Metallica. When I think I was 9, maybe 8 or 9 years old. I was like really, really young, and it sounded like to me like so evil. I was like, wow, there can't be anything like more evil than that. When I was as I said, I was really, really young. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I always been uh into heavier music and stuff like that. So it always been a part of my life, that's for sure. We don't. We live with them. I
I
mean,
was
it's so
about to say the same thing. I mean, you just live and go through it, you know. How,
yeah, but because we
it's
do
like,
we do this for us at first. I mean, we
yeah,
play music because we are music lovers since day one. We are passionate about music, that's for sure.
that's the number one thing. And after that, if you can live of it, and be successful and all that stuff, that's just a small percentage of, musicians that are able to actually, make a great, living out of it. Money wise, it's not everyone. Example, I have a day job, and like almost like 90%, 98% of bands out there,
Of course.
have to earn a living, either choose to do it 100% of the time and live with that situation, or not. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't see it as an obstacle. It's just a way of living, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's reality. You have
Yeah.
to, it's you have to pay the rent for sure. But it's yeah, I mean, there is a lot of, obstacles, like everyday obstacles for musicians for sure, because, music is not as, the music business is not what it used to be for sure. So like the incomes are very, very low. It's very hard to, you know, to be able to sell some stuff, you know, enough to make a living out of it or whatever. Like
And
it,
there's so many like new
so many
like
bands out there,
yeah,
so many music,
in
so it's not like it
with
used to be, But
everybody has their home studio, in their bedroom, so it's great for that, I
yeah,
would say.
it's a
But
beautiful thing that
it
anybody can.
changed. Now labels, I mean, you can't sign everybody, and so people have to do it all on their own, a lot of the time.
Yeah,
It's
like.
okay. I mean, that's how it is
Hmm.
now. So
But that's a reason why you have to do it for yourself. I mean,
yeah,
if you're a musician, like, and you just start, I mean, be prepared to be disappointed for sure. But the thing is that, you have to do that for yourself, because you need to do that. I mean, you
yeah,
don't become a musician because of money or whatever, and it's
no,
like a labor of love, that's for sure.
yeah.
So, I mean,
You don't
as long
count
as
the
you're,
hours. You don't count the
oh no,
hours that it
no,
takes.
no.
I
As
remember
long as,
doing some work with you, Luke. I mean, for the previous album, because we weren't in the pandemic, but you would stay here up till 2, 3 in the morning, and I would go drive you back home, almost an hour away. We would do that. I mean, once
before
a
the
week.
driver license.
Yes. Yeah. So, but I mean, we would be working 12, 16 hours
Oh
in a
yeah.
row, and it's you're doing it, and you say, "Oh my God, it's 3 o'clock. What do we have to stop." I mean, and then that's how it is. I mean, you do it because you love it, and that's how you I would say that's how what overcoming it is. It's not really automatically you overcome it by the love of what you're doing. So
Yeah, and being satisfied with your work. I think
yeah,
that's the most important thing, because there's no money at all. So,
yeah,
especially in that kind of music. I mean, heavy music, rock music, and everything. I mean, for so many years, it's not like the mainstream music or whatever. It changed so much during the last, what,
yeah.
20 years. So, yeah.
It's coming back a little bit, but still not. The days of the Black Album and the early 2000s with the new metal bands. Those were the two big moments of really, I would say
Hmm.
of the metal scene, or like the more, um, you know, not underground bands, but still they would be able to make a living during those periods more than today. I mean, it's unless you're a band from that era and are still playing, you can get by, and you can see some bands are coming back from those periods and touring now because I mean there's an interest in it. So and there's big festivals all over the place still of metal, especially in Europe. I mean, it's still alive and well. So I mean,
Yeah, but it's so expensive to tour that
yeah,
there's always like other obstacles.
yes.
That's for sure.
So we're always, in the boat and like pedaling to the shore, always.
Mhm.
Yeah. Even if it's windy and you have the wind in your face, you still have to
Oh,
continue. So that's how
it's
it
always it's
goes.
always windy, and you always
Yeah.
have the wind in your face. Get used to that.
Yeah. I mean, I
Non-metal?
was before uh, playing in Sandveiss. I played blues a lot, and so for me, I mean, I don't know. I mean, one of my favorite artists is Doyle Bramhall the second. He's been Eric Clapton's sideman for like 20 years, maybe. Before that, he played with Roger Waters, and he's a really good producer and everything as well. He's produced for Sheryl Crow and Derek Trucks band and all types of artists. He doesn't get the recognition he deserves. I would say he's one of the better guitar players, and every album he works on, it sounds amazing. So if there was one artist I think that's not metal that I would like to collaborate with, I think it would be him
Hmm.
for me.
Yeah, on my side, it's kind of hard to say. Like, it depends on which kind of collaboration. Like, is it like writing together, or is it like producing
Yeah,
stuff that I would do, or
it would be
you
everything
know,
for me, like the because he does everything too, you know. So it's like,
yeah.
be in that bubble.
Well, I mean, I listen to a lot of different kind of music, and as I said before, I play music in a band which is not metal at all. So I have like a lot of, different kind
Sure.
of influences and musicians that I appreciate a lot. But if we stay in the rock, realm, I would say, um, like a guy like Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull, even even if they won the metal Grammy of the year instead of Metallica, because
Uh,
like in
yeah,
1990. I mean,
yeah.
I think that we can all agree that they're not metal at all. I mean, maybe they were influential to some point, but
No,
they're not metal at
it's
all, sure. But yeah, I mean, the guy is fascinating to me. I see him like as a complete genius, and
I agree.
I know, and yeah, we're both big fans of Jethro Tull. And but I know that I heard it, I've read that he's not the maybe the most easiest person to work with for many reasons, but I wouldn't care. I would sit in the corner and just watch him do his things. That would be enough for me.
Yeah, like
So
talking about Ian Anderson for the metal scene. Just so you and you're probably maybe aware now, but he's actually collaborating with the new Opeth album. So I think he's doing some narration at some point in
he
because
played some flute.
and he also played some flute. So I'm a big Opeth fan. Been big Opeth fan for a long time since the early days. But yeah, I'm really yeah, it's coming out. I think in November now. They pushed the date out away a little bit, a month. I think at least it's now in November. So stay tuned for that.
Interesting question.
Yeah, I mean, uh, metal has always been one of the most genres of music that's not scared to like incorporate different styles within its music style. I mean, I think it's the most diverse of any music style. And it people are ready to accept almost anything, you know.
I mean, there's a
So,
lot of gatekeepers around, that's for
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of open mind
Yeah.
people that in the metal scene. So you will find like almost every genre of metal that would be every genre of music that would be blended with metal. I mean,
Yeah. So to me that's refreshing because it's always going to be new at some point because people are gonna go to the right or to the left and they won't care because they know that it's like Blood Incantation that just released the album recently with I mean it's a
Great
total
example.
right and left field situation where parts of the song are downright metal, and then you go into a ethereal Pink Floyd-esque,
Yeah, and
section
it's more like extreme metal.
with
Yeah.
another band playing,
Hmm.
because Tangerine Dream, I think, in one of the song plays in one of those sections, and they steer off to a. So I mean, I've never seen that before. And so
Yeah.
that's cool with
Very
metal. I
unique.
mean, people are ready to do anything that they like, and that's great.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That shows a lot of, yeah, that shows a lot of, mind openness. So, yeah, very interesting.
And that's why, I'm a big progressive rock fan. So, I mean, I know Luke is too, but I mean, that's for anybody that loves progressive rock. Well, a lot of the time they'll like metal too, because, a lot of the time it does, it's almost part of it as well. So for me, I kind of like bands that do metal, but with different time signatures that are not classic in structure and all that stuff. And rarely today, I mean, it's you don't see that often either. I mean, a lot of the time there is some exploration,
Hmm.
that goes on. So it's always refreshing. So, rapid fire section. Your thoughts on AI generated
I
cover
think that
art?
I think that AR, no, AI,
Yeah.
AI, I think that AI can be like a very useful tool for a few things, but I don't like when AI do or does all the work,
No.
that's for sure. I mean,
For a cover art, though, I mean, I think it's less of a thing, but still,
oh,
like you
I don't like
said,
it. Yeah. Like
you
all the
can
cover
see
art
that.
that I've seen like that, it's like I don't know why, but when you sometimes you can perceive it, you can see that
Yeah,
it's AI, uh, but I mean, I think it's still dangerous to think that that computers can do all the work for us. It's the same in music. I mean, they're like there is
sure.
a kind of a big controversy like right now because they're one of the I don't remember the name of the band, but there was a band like Stoner Doom or something like that, and they recently discovered that it's all AI. Like nobody's playing in that band,
Oh,
and
really? Yeah.
they had like a big following and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
jeez.
yeah, you can fool people with that. That's for sure. So it's kind of scary, but
I would say for me, like musically and like for texts and stuff like that, I mean, I wouldn't really accept it at
oh
all,
no, oh no, not at
at
all.
all.
I mean, you can use, as I said, like as a tool, like I don't know, to maybe to just like trigger when you're stuck, like. It can help the creativity, but I mean it can't be like the 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 number one
100%.
source.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. And because the first time that I ever used AI was maybe like a month, 2 months ago. I never used it before. Like ChatGPT never touched that before. But a month or two, a month ago, just to to get some text corrected in English or
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. It can be useful,
Yeah, sure.
but I will never use it or see this as a creative
Yeah.
motor. That's for sure. That would, I mean, for
Like
me, that would kill it.
write the best metal song ever.
Yeah, but it won't be the best ever.
No, but I'm just
That's a
saying, best chord progression, blah blah or something. I don't know. I've never actually used with yes with ChatGPT, for like asking questions about I don't know this and that, but
And
not
even asking
related to
question,
music.
you have to be really careful because I did some tests and you can laugh a lot. Like all the names, the name of what is Sandveiss? Sandveiss is a YouTuber from Belgium or whatever.
Ah,
It can like,
got
say
you.
anything. It's not like a reliable source of information, that's for sure.
No,
Never a fact check with
no, no,
AI.
no, no.
That's for sure.
So our thought on it essentially is nah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we won't get away. I mean, I think that it's here to stay. We have to accept that,
yeah.
but we have to be careful the way we use it. That's for sure.
Like if people start, making new Jimi Hendrix albums with his voice and stuff. I
That's a
mean,
total no.
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying I don't want to see that ever.
oh no,
Or
that's
John Lennon, they did it once, but
yeah, I
it
know,
wasn't AI. But
but I mean, there's
please
zero
no.
interest in that stuff
Yeah,
anyway. So,
music labels, please don't do that. Please.
hmm. On my
Wow,
side,
that was a
I
long time ago.
yeah, but I remember that when we were talking about what like what the question was when we did when we first discovered metal or stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of talked about that. Yeah, like it will be a short answer for me. First album was Kill 'Em All.
Kill 'em all.
That's
Yeah.
the first one I bought when my money I was 8 or 9 years old.
I have
So
a hard time remembering this, but if we say maybe first, I think the first thing I bought was a CD, and I remember buying two at the same time, and it was AC/DC's For Those About to Rock, We Salute You, and Master of Reality.
oh,
So those are the two that I actually bought.
that's a good start.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, but even before, because I think they were on special or something, and this was at Woolworths. I don't know if people are old enough here to remember this. This was in Canada. I don't know if they were in the States or an old store, and they were closing actually, and so this was like in a bin. And I remember back then they had the CDs were like this tall with a case with carton and everything, and I remember the big black and the big kind of gold colored packaging from AC/DC with the cannon and everything, and it was like, oh yeah, I want that and that, and so it was like on sale, so I bought them both, not knowing exactly what I was getting, and so yeah, that was I think my first CD.
That was a very exciting time. I mean,
Yeah,
the era that you would enter a music store and try something without
yeah,
hearing before,
no,
just because of the
just
cover.
yeah.
I remember when I
My
was a
dad
kid.
knew what it was, so
Yeah,
he knew I would like it. Probably he said, "Okay, bring it," because he probably had them before or whatever, and he didn't. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll have but he didn't know. He knew what I was going about to get into, which is fine.
yeah,
And it was a nice surprise because those are two great albums,
hmm
evidently.
yeah, of course.
So yeah,
But I remember like like going to the store and buy an Iron Maiden album because the cover was so incredible
yeah,
without knowing what they sounded like. I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah, yeah.
remember the first time that I saw like Iron Maiden covers and it was like, wow, what is that? I mean, I had no idea how this sounded, but already in my head it was, you know, the imagination, you just like try to figure out what it was like.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I mean, these days nowadays, like the kids, you can check everything like
Yeah,
on
it's no, for
Spotify.
well,
Yeah.
well,
So
we'll
it was,
start that.
we're old enough to,
Yeah,
of course, to trial and error, try
yeah,
some stuff and being disappointed. And sometimes you buy you. I remember like buying some albums at first that I was like kind of disappointed, but since you paid for that, you listen to that and
Yeah.
you start to like it, and then you
But
start to love it. So it
but you
just,
listen to an album.
yeah, it was so different.
Now people don't listen to an album as much
Yeah,
as they did before. They listen
so different.
to a single or
Yeah,
you
but
know.
we start to sound like grumpy old men.
Yeah, I know. That's what we are, I guess, at this point.
Not that grumpy. We're laughing, but
I'm talking about me, evidently. Maybe I'm grumpier. So, I think I have one that covers probably both of us here, but yeah, we were playing a show in the northern part of Quebec, let's just say, which is north, pretty much north.
don't say more.
No, it's okay. And we were playing, and then during a song, we're playing, and then at a moment, we see a white streak pass, and we're like, we look at it, and we're playing, and we look at it, and we see it, and it's a tampon, and you're like, what? Evidently, it was new, so that's good.
Yeah, it was still the package.
That was perfect,
Everybody was safe,
but
but but it was weird.
yeah, I think that was the weirdest moment ever. Not even like
It,
musically, I think ever.
yeah, if we can count it as an interaction with a fan, but it was yeah, it
That's
was
pretty
pretty
much it.
funny.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
after that they were like, and we were like, no. I'll start really easy, quick one on this. Probably the worst and the best at the same time for me. My first job ever play was at McDonald's, and so yeah, learning
flipping
flipping
burgers,
patties
patties.
and cleaning, janitor work, doing the front desk, doing all types of stuff, taking orders. Yeah, that I think that was the worst and the best at the same time because that made me realize that yeah, okay, this is great. I'm learning, working at work like as a team and all that stuff and surpass yourself and all that stuff because there were like you needed to do it in a specific time frame to be commended for stuff and whatever. And then one of the worst things was the smell. I mean, your clothes would smell regardless if you wash it 10, 20 times. People who've worked there, the oil, it just gets into the clothes and there's nothing you can do. But yeah, that was mine.
Yeah, I mean the worst. I don't consider that I had like very like shitty jobs or that much, but maybe I'm just not complaining that much about them. But maybe I worked as a janitor for a while in an arena. So I was working in the morning. Like so there was good side of it. I mean, I was alone for a few hours in the morning just doing my thing with nobody else in the arena. So a big arena and I was alone. So I remember with my Discman and Walkman like listening to music like with the mop and cleaning the the lockers, which was not always cool, but so yeah, maybe that was like the most like the least fun,
Sure. Yeah.
but it still had its good sides. That's a very hard one. Like as we said, we listen to a lot of different
Wow.
kind of music,
Yeah. I mean,
but
favorite non-rock. Yeah. Go ahead.
non-metal or non-rock.
Non-rock metal song.
Oh, maybe I would pick like maybe because during the last months I listened to that song a few times for whatever reason, and it's not new to me, but it's a song that I really like. The, it's a song by Tim O'Brien, which is a folk bluegrass kind of singer, and the song is called Brother Wind. He recorded that one with Daryl Scott, which is another
Hmm.
incredible songwriter. So yeah, Brother Wind is a very beautiful song, and that would be my answer for now. Maybe
Cool.
you would ask the same question tomorrow. I would say something else, maybe, but that's an incredible song, that's for sure.
For me, I mean, I don't know if it's rock, but it's a song by Bob Seger, so it's kind of like on the limit. It's country, but so and it has the rock in the name, but like a rock for me is one of the best songs ever written. Um, just the energy the song has, the build up, the guitar solo, the slide solos in that are incredible. I'm there's so many songs to choose from, but for me, that's one of the top country rock. Sorry if it's rock, but or anything Beethoven. I love classical music, and Beethoven is like Superman for me. So yeah,
Being
one
rich.
minute, 1 minute left. Yeah,
1 minute
make it.
left.
What make it?
No, actually,
Tour with Metallica and make it.
I think that just play our song in front of people that
Yeah,
appreciate that. I think that's the main goal. So maybe tour the most as we can, play the most as we can,
yeah,
and try to get the album, you know, travel the
yeah.
most. The
Travel.
most.
Even if we're paying to travel, it doesn't matter. We're playing. No, I'm just joking, but we would like to expand a little bit and go to Europe and the UK. Well, UK is part of Europe, but anyways, that side of the pond, the US, we've played once and we loved it. So anywhere,
Play the most as we can.
yeah. So those are the plans for Sandveiss, and hope you like this lengthy interview. And see you next time.
Yeah, thank you very much.